Well, we have not committed ourselves to rental. I've got here the manifesto 2015 and 19. We never committed ourselves to rental housing. What we did commit ourselves for the elderly,
yes.
And we have built it. We have done the Sea Masters Lodge, which is there's a whole block there, and we did Charles Blusson. So, and we are in line to do more, but we've already done two, which Mr. Pina accepts. But what Mr. Pina doesn't accept is that we've told him that we're not going to do normal government rental. What we're going to do is that as we are doing pensioner flats, that releases many of the houses that they live for our government stock. So therefore, we will have more rentals to give to the people of Gibraltar.
Your 2019 manifesto did commit to rentals for the elderly at the Old Queen Cinema site. Where are we with that?
Well, at the moment, what we have is we are trying to relocate and see what we do with the tenants there, because there's a hotel there and we've got people there. So, and that is one of the questions that Mr. Pina puts. And I told him in the last program the same thing, was that we are at design and identifying where we're going to do the hostel so that we can accommodate all the people that are in there in a new hostel.
Now, where is the hostel at Devil's Tower Road that was announced a little while ago? Is that still happening?
Yes, it is happening, probably not in Devil's Tower Road, but we are in the planning stage of doing the hostel.
Could you give us more details on where it would be, how many it might accommodate?
Not at this moment in time, but we are already working at and identifying and doing the designs of a new hostel.
You said in Parliament that a command paper for the Housing Act will be done by the end of the year. Do you plan to show a draft of this to Action for Housing, and if so, when?
Action for Housing knows full well that I have offered them to see the bill before it becomes a command paper.
Well, Mr. Pina says he's been waiting to see that draft for quite a long time.
Yes, and we are still drafting. I don't know what Mr. Pina's anxiety is about seeing the Housing Act when he has never, ever, Action for Housing has never, ever pressed on reviewing the Housing Act. It has been an initiative of mine to do a review of the Housing Act. Action for Housing has never even asked for the review of the Housing Act. So what is the problem now with Mr. Pina wanting to press?
Action for Housing say that they've written this open letter because they want a reply from you on these points. What does this situation say about the government's relationship with the NGO, that there's no ability to engage here? Isn't that detrimental to the people that actually need assistance?
Mr. Pina meets with the Housing Department, I've said this, meets with the Housing Department on a monthly basis. So there is an issue. The issue seems to be that they are becoming irrelevant as far as I'm concerned, and therefore they need to, every 2 or 3 months, come out publicly. They are in contact with us. My door has always been open. The officials meet with him and his people every month.
Wouldn't it be in line with the government's policy on transparency to have these conversations more publicly, if that's what seems to be required, to make them work together?
Yes, I've been on radio with your colleague Ross how many times about housing. There's viewpoints about housing. I mean, what else do we want to do? I mean, I am open to anything.
So would you be open to a conversation with Action for Housing on TV again now?
But if there are new issues, yes, let's bring new issues. What is it that Mr. Pina wants to ask me publicly? What is put in the open letter, I've already answered.